Hi, I'm Amy Harman and I'm going to share with you my top 5 tips for memorising. I don't find playing from memory particularly easy, but I've had to make use of these tricks with my job as principal bassoon of the Aurora Orchestra, where every year we play an entire symphony memorised at the BBC Proms live on television. Tip number 1, step away from the music. You need to get used to playing without the music at the earliest possible opportunity. If you're practicing a difficult passage, look at the music, play it through once, then get rid of it. Trust me, it's much easier to get rid of it earlier on rather than later. Tip number 2, colour code. I learn all my music from an iPad and I use the app Score, which it's easy to highlight and colour code everything on. I divide everything up harmonically by number of repetitions in the phrase or by changes of register, and so in my brain I've got a colour map of how it goes. If you don't have an iPad, a piece of paper and a highlighter works just as well. Tip number 3, 3 times perfect. Now this can also be 5 times perfect, 10 times perfect, or even 15 times perfect, depending on what mood you're in. But if you're memorising and you make a mistake, you then have to stop, go back to the beginning of the phrase and play it 3 times perfectly before you can move on. It stops your brain learning mistakes. Tip number 4, pick a bar. I do this with my students at the Royal Academy of Music when they're memorising. I pick a bar from any point in the piece, play half of it, and then they have to complete the phrase. If you're doing this at home on your own, open your music on any page, pick a bar, play it, and then from memory, complete the rest of the phrase. This tip also helps in case you have memory slips in a performance, because getting used to knowing where you are from the middle of a phrase is incredibly useful. Tip number 5, play it backwards. Now, I'm not sure how or why this works, but it's some kind of witchcraft and you will thank me. When you're practicing something that's either particularly difficult technically or particularly difficult to memorise, play it backwards. Even better, memorise it backwards, and then trust me, you will not have problems with it again. This is an example of a passage I found particularly difficult to memorise from Berlioz's Symphonie Fantastique. This is from the 4th movement, the March to the Scaffold, which heavily features bassoons. This is how it goes. Now, slowly and backwards. Now, up to speed and memorised. I hope you found some of these tips useful. Happy memorising.